So you can set your mood however you want: candles, dim lights, essential oils. Today I'm going to use Valor because I love the way it smells, and I love starting my day with a little bit of extra strength and courage. And then I always have hot tea with me, and just whatever you need. If you would like to set up the music, if you are interested in having me give you a playlist to play when we do these, send me a message and I'll send you a link to one of my favorite playlists. The music just doesn't come through great through the computer speakers, through the Skype. So we're reading in the Sanctuary of Women by Jan L. Richardson. We are in the beginning of all things, the Book of Eve, chapter 4, the first quest. In my mind's eye, I keep seeing Eve's gesture of reaching for the tree, fingers not yet grasping the fruit, but poised. I find myself wondering, what hunger gave rise to this? What told her that Eden wasn't enough, that the landscape and the life she knew would not suffice? What hunger lay beneath her hunger? So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was a delight to the eye, and the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. Genesis 3:6. In her commentary on this story, Susan Niditch writes that to be the curious one, the seeker of knowledge, the tester of limits, is to be quintessentially human. To evidence traits of many of the culture-bringing heroes and heroines of Genesis. We are built to stretch beyond what we know, to search for what lies beyond our known borders. Eve's reaching for the fruit is the first quest. Within her gesture lies the impulse that would animate the restless searching of all of the following generations. In her desire, Eve commits herself also to the requirement of every quest, the experience of exile. We cannot stretch beyond ourselves and yet cling to what we have known. Reaching means abandoning the familiar landscape in which we live our days. If not physically departing, then shifting the patterns and habits that have defined our terrain. Once undertaken, it is a leaving that we cannot undo or unlearn. The road by which we set out is never quite the same one by which we will return. This is, perhaps, the curse of each quest, but also its gift. With every departure, a new world, and each time we cross a threshold or make a choice for something new, every time we reach for some piece of knowing and to make it our own, there is the presence of Eve in the shadow, reaching, tasting beyond. Our blessing for today is, may your longings lead you far and farther still, toward the place where what you desire can only be met by God. May your hungering bring you home by another way. Good. We're just going to start like we always do with just some deep breathing. So get comfortable. That might mean lying down. That might mean with your back against a wall. That might mean just sitting in front of your computer, whatever that looks like. Get someplace you can be really comfortable and your body is not going to ache or pain. And you're just going to breathe. It's the only requirement of you today is to take breath into your body and to let it go. We're inhaling nice and deep. You can challenge yourself to see how deeply you can take the breath into your belly. As you exhale, you can let go of anything that you've brought to your mat today that's not going to serve you in this purpose of getting to know your body well. You can let go of your to-do list. You can let go of the fight you had with your spouse or your kids or your partner. You can let go of the things you should have said, you should have done. As we breathe, notice the parts of your body that are connected to the mat below you or the ground below you. If it feels right, you can imagine that where you are on the ground, you're growing roots down. Roots that will keep you grounded during our practice today. Roots that will hold you still when it feels like you can't stay still for another second. Roots that can help you when you feel like you're going to be washed away by emotion today. Feelings and emotions when we tap into our bodies are natural and good, and they help us to recognize what we've been holding on to. And if we keep breathing and we keep feeling, feelings will come, but then they will go. They can't overtake you. Good. You start with some head rolls, getting into my neck and shoulders. If that feels good for you, you can do the same. The goal here is actually just to give your body what it wants. So for me right now, the back of my neck is really tender. So I'm going to take stretches that help me stretch that tender part out. And they don't have to be very particular yoga stretches. They can just be moving your head around, as long as the way you're moving your head around is slow and intentional, and that you're noticing how it feels in your neck, and that it feels good, or if it feels bad, that you stop. How about some shoulder rolls as well? Taking the shoulders up to the ears and down. Good, and coming back the opposite direction. Good, arms up to the air if that feels good to you. Can you feel your torso lengthening when you do this, coming up out of your hip bones, up out of the ribs? Good, and coming over to the side. So hand to the mat below you. You can sink all the way to the elbow if that feels good. Then just reaching to the other side of the room, making length happen here in my left side body. You can be on whatever side you want to be on. And back the other direction. Good, up high again. I'm going to take my hands behind me toward my sacrum, fingertips pointing to the back wall, hips toward my heels toward my hips, and I'm just going to roll my shoulder blades back and open my heart space here. If you're comfortable, you can let your head fall back. How does that feel to have your heart wide open here? Take notice of it. Good. I'm going to take my legs wide here. You can if you want to. If it feels better for you to keep your legs together, you could also do that. Good. When you sit with your legs wide open, you have the opportunity here. You can put your legs up against the wall so you can press them a little bit further apart. But what feels best and what gives you the best stretch is to come forward into your hips, to roll forward into your hips and not to sit back like this. So challenge yourself if it feels good to roll forward into your hips and what that feels like in your hips, in your legs, to do that, to come forward. Good, and just come forward as much or as little as you want to. You can flex and point your toes. You can draw circles with your toes, working into your ankles here. Nice, deep inner thigh stretch. If that's where you feel it, if you feel it someplace else, take note of that, notice. Good. Go ahead and bring your feet together if they're not already together. Sit up nice and tall here and just reach forward for your toes. You might not catch your toes, that's okay. That's something that you can start working towards. If you can't catch your toes and this is really uncomfortable for you, but you want to do it, you can grab a towel, or I was at my studio, use men's ties and wrap them around my feet. And then you can walk your hands down towards your feet using the tie. Good. Take a few breaths here. Good. Go ahead and take yourself back to lying down on your mat. sorry, I had to grab a tissue. This morning, fall mornings are bad for my allergies. So we're all the way lying down on our mat and we're breathing deep here. What does it feel like? All the different parts of your body down on your mat. What does it feel like if you're to draw your shoulder blades together and open your heart, and then to flatten the shoulder blades and let your heart sink back? And inhale and lift your heart space. And exhale, let it lower. Do it 2 more times. Okay. Now the next exercise we're going to do called the pelvic clock. If it is painful for you to move your pelvis around, you can just continue opening and lowering your heart. But if you would like to experience the pelvic clock, it's a really good exercise for women especially. So you're laying on the floor with your small of your back pressed against the mat. And you're going to think about that there's a clock over your knees. You're going to pull your pelvis up to the 12 o'clock and then lower it down to the 6 o'clock and let your low back come up. And then pull it up to the 12 o'clock and lower it to the 6 o'clock. We're just going to do that a couple of times. And if that feels good, and if you're comfortable with the 12 and the 6, we can start to add the 3 and the 9. So think about moving your pelvis, not your knees, not your legs, not anything else, but using your muscles in your core to bring your pelvis to the 9 o'clock and the 3 o'clock. So we're just going to go back and forth between the 9 and the 3 a few times. And then we're going to do all 4. So we're going to take it up to the 12, over to the 3, down to the 6, over to the 9, up to the 12. Forgot what a clock looked like there for a minute. Sorry. So we're going 12, 3, 6, 9 again. Again, if you guys ever have any questions about what we're doing, you can unmute yourself and say, hey, Amber, help. And I'm happy to help you. You don't even have to turn on your video. You just unmute and ask a question. That's fine. Good. And come back to a neutral spine. And if that felt good for you, we'll go the other way. So then you'll go 12, 9, 6, 9, 12, 3. What is going on with me? 6, 9, 12, 3. Good. And it's all about using the muscles in your core to move your pelvis here. Our reading today was about uncovering your desires, your longings, and about God meeting you there. This is an exercise that wakens up, that awakens part of our body where energetically passion and desire and longings are being held. So it might open a lot for you doing this exercise. If that's true and you want to go with it, do that. If that's true and you hate it, that's okay too. Good. Coming back to a nice neutral spine, hug your knees into your body. Good. Option here to take happy baby, which is just grabbing the inside of your feet and letting your legs fall open. And you can shake it left and right. Give yourself a little massage for your spine if that feels good. Good. Go ahead and lift your legs up to the ceiling, legs against the wall. Usually we end our practice with this, but we're gonna throw it here in the middle today. Good. How does that feel for your legs? How's that fresh energy that you just unlocked? Now you're loosening up. How does that feel? Good. Go ahead and bring your feet down to the mat. Walk the heels back toward the hips. You can reach for your heels. Maybe you can touch them. Good. If you're comfortable here and you would like to, you can draw your shoulder blades together again, lifting the heart space off the mat. And if that feels good, you can press that and then lift yourself all the way up for bridge pose. Good. If that feels good and you want to interlock your fingers below you, you can do that. What does it feel like in your body to be doing this? If this is too hard for you, you can stick a pillow underneath your hips and just let your hips be up, resting on a pillow, or use a block. This is your practice, and this is your body, and you get to be the boss, so you get to decide what you want to do. If you're ready, you can lower yourself down, one vertebrae at a time. Nice. Go ahead and come all the way up to sitting. Take your knees, so you can squeeze your knees in so you're a nice, tight little ball. Take your chin to your chest. What does it feel like to be squeezing it here? Be tight and you are just so open. Does it feel more comfortable for you? Is it less comfortable for you? Does being wide open feel like it takes courage? Good. Everybody here is here because they are willing to explore their bodies, because they're willing to say, I want to know and love my body. And that's a longing that takes an incredible amount of courage. So if you made it this far, I just want to let you know I'm really, really proud of you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take it to all fours on our mats now. And give yourself some body circles here. Again, we're just moving through the hips, energetically loosening and letting go of the part of our body that typically holds our creativity, our passions, our longings, our desires, our connection to our own deep wisdom And we're just exploring what it feels like. So maybe it feels hard, and that's okay, but maybe you can let that hard feeling inform you that maybe there's something stuck there. Good, and from here, I'm gonna go ahead and, we're gonna go ahead and reach forward with the right hand, and we're going to kick the left leg back. We're gonna reach, stretch through the fingertips, stretch through the toes. Good, pull the core up to the spine if you would like. What does this feel like? Where do you feel heat burning? Muscles working here. Reach, reach, reach. Good, and back. If you would like, you can capture that back ankle and open up here, kick into that hand. If this is too much for you, just come back to all fours. That's fine too. Listen to your body. Good. And then we're going to do the opposite arm, opposite leg. Good. What does it feel like to really reach with your fingers, to really reach with your toes, to create space and warmth here in your torso? Good. And then if you want to, you can capture those back toes, kick into the hands, open up here. Again, totally up to you. Good. And back to all fours. Beautiful. Big toes together, knees mat width apart, hips to the heels. I'm going to come to child's pose for my last pose. If you want to, you can join me forehead to the mat. If you prefer to end lying on your back, you can do that. If you don't want this to be your last pose, if you want to keep breathing and moving, please just listen to your body and keep going. Keep breathing here in child's pose. And I'm going to read to us again the blessing from today. The blessing from today is, may your longings lead you far and farther still, toward the place where what you desire can only be met by God. May your hungering bring you home by another way. Sorry, my earpods fell out. I have freakishly small ears. I'm going to read it again. May your longings lead you far and farther still, toward the place where what you desire can be met only by God. May your hungering bring you home another way. Ladies, thank you so much for practicing with me today. I already got messages that y'all want the link. That's awesome. I will send you one. Thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for making this practice a priority for yourselves. I'm going to stick around for a couple of minutes. If anybody wants to hop into the chat box, if you have anything you need to talk about or you want to say, I'm going to try and get the video up tomorrow for people who have missed it. If you have friends or family that you would like to share this with, I would love that. And then I will be on Facebook and Instagram today. If you have anything you would like to private message me about, that would be great too. Thank you guys again for letting me practice with you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I think I have 3 minutes left in this in this thing here. So you guys can hang